And we're back. We are live again, my friends. Welcome back to another Truther Tuesday. And I am your host, Jake, the awesome asshole. Now, some might say, how come you're an awesome asshole? Is it because your asshole is awesome? Well, yes. And because I'm an awesome guy and I'm an asshole to people who deserve it, like scammers and liars and frauds. So I'm the best kind of awesome asshole who also has an awesome asshole. All right. So now that I've got that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started, right? Okay. First thing we got to do is read the first super chat that came in before I even started the stream. I like when there's a super chat before I start the stream. Good times. And it comes from Decran 4D. He says 78 people in the room and just 40 likes. Well, when I started the stream, it said that there was like almost exactly 100 people. I think it said there was 98 people when I hit the start button. So now it says there's over 100 people here. So yeah, everybody hit the thumbs up to start the show. It's going to be a fun show. We're mostly going to be talking about the LA riots, anti-ICE protests, what have you. That's going to be the main subject of focus. There's a lot to talk about, a lot of different footage we can take a look at, mainstream media coverage, regular people who are showing up, getting involved, and then they're uploading footage. So we can take a look at lots of different video clips and get a gauge for what's really going on. So strap in, kids. Time to get busy. It's Truther Tuesdays. Thank you, Decran4D, getting us started with the first super chat of the night, a pre-super chat before the show even starts. And now I see that has begun a snowball effect of super chats coming in, which I love because it keeps me in business. Trout fishing at Hood Park with the second super chat of the night says, what kind of microphone did you want? I know a guy. What kind of microphone did I want? I should probably get a good one, like a Shure. So I've been dragging my feet with upgrading everything, because I'm lazy and because the channel doesn't bring in that much money. So I keep thinking, once the channel starts bringing in more money, like maybe around NFL season or something, I'm totally going to upgrade everything. But I've been saying that for a couple of years. I'm going to do it, okay? I'm just lazy, and I have one of those deals where whenever I have to buy something new and then figure out like how to use it and whatnot, like for instance, I need to like learn how to use like better editing software. I need to upgrade my thumbnail game, my editing techniques. I need to upgrade my camera, my microphone, my background aesthetic. Like the whole channel needs an overhaul, and it's so damn overwhelming that I'm like, shit, I got to come up with the next thing to talk about, let alone overhaul the channel. And then before I know it, it's Tuesday. I need to do my stream. So I got to hurry up and prepare for that. So it just seems like one of these days, I'm eventually going to have all new shit and everything's going to be upgraded for the better. It just hasn't happened yet. But if you know a guy who knows a guy, I need a Shure mic. Sure as shit. All right. One of these days, you guys are going to like tune in and I'm going to have upgraded several things. And I'm going to be like, what do you think, eh? I'll have this shit-eating grin on my face like, I did some stuff for the channel. Aren't you proud of me? Kevin Arnold, 37, who is from the show The Wonder Years. Remember Kevin Arnold from The Wonder Years? This is him. Just kidding, it's not him. I say that every time. He says, in Jake We Trust Fund. In Jake We Trust Fund. I like it. How very cute. I hope you and Winnie Cooper live happily ever after. What would you do if I sang out of tune? We just stand up and walk out on me. All right. For those who know, you know. All right. Simone says, hi, Jake, the awesome a-hole, Ralphie, and good people. Ralphie's down here too. Come on, Ralph. Let's make an appearance. Let's make an appearance. Simone mentioned you, so that means the Ralph has to make an appearance. It's time to see the Ralph. It's time to see the Flouth, because he's made of Ralph. He's made of Flouth. He's made of freaking good dogs, because he's a really freaking good puppy, and his name is Ralph Falfy. And he's got poopy good dog paws and big floppy ears, and he knows that he's a good boy. He wants down. There you go. No, we're not playing right now. No, I just started the stream. No, we can't play right now. You're going to have to wait. He thought that meant it was time to start playing. All right. Thank you, Simone, for the super chat. And Lemming in a shiny metal box, another loyal subscriber and moderator. Very generous, says, good evening, Sir Jake. I trust all is well and looking forward to the stream. So some LA riot shit. And just to let you guys know, I'm safe here in the office. I live like quite a ways away from LA. California is a big state. And so unless you're in that specific section in LA where the shit's popping off, it's like another day as usual. So like I took the dog out for a walk, earlier today, and there's no riots happening where I live. So for me to go put myself in the mix and then film what's going on for you guys just for views and clicks, I would have to drive 6 hours. That's how long it takes. And it's a shitty drive on I-5 freeway the entire way there. And it's just a boring garbage drive. That's like one of the worst drives, is like in the Valley of California, to go from anywhere up north to anywhere down south. If you're in the Valley on I-5 or 99, it's just like a garbage drive. So I have to drive if I want to go there and live stream and make videos for the clicks and the money. I would have to drive 6 hours. So I'd have to invest like 2 gas tanks to get down there. And then I'd have to get the footage right and edit it all up and then put it out there. And I got the dog, so I have to figure out what to do with the dog when I get there. You know what I'm saying? So just and then a 6-hour drive back. So I thought about like somehow covering it, because I see that the channels who are covering the chaos, the ones who are putting themselves in it, they're getting huge view counts. But I thought about a few things, like the cost and trouble getting there and back, and the risk of when I get there, being that I'm a happy-go-lucky white dude, you know what I mean, who doesn't belong there. All it takes is one person who just doesn't like the way I look for whatever reason to attack me for no reason. So I don't want to go put myself in there and get attacked. I don't want to end up in jail. I'd hate for like even the police to be like, oh, there's this well-known guy who talks shit about the government and speaks out against conspiracies, and here he is. We can go ahead and just arrest him and say that he's obstructing justice since he's here trying to expose our psychological operation. We can just arrest him on sight. So I'd be afraid of the police getting me or the protesters attacking me. And the only reason I would go down there is just for the clicks. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, I would never put myself in any situation like going to one of them controlled manufactured protests. All right. Got some more super chats rolling in from Rose Bell, one of my beautiful moderators, says, please sing our favorite Mexican song in honor of the protest. I will sing the Mexican protest national anthem. You might be wondering, what's that? Oh, well, the Mexican protest national anthem sounds like every Mexican song you ever heard, and it goes like this. Ram pam pam pune 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 ram pam 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 hey ne 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 mariacha. Dígalone in Miami. Dígalone, dígalo. Ram pam pam pam. Yinayone in mariacha. Yinayone dinalo. Bailar yo en Miami. And dígalone ninano. There you go. The Mexican national anthem protest song. Strictly because Rose Bell wanted it. No other reason. All right. Moving on to the next one. Zach W. No message, just a super chat. I like those all the same. Whether you got something to say, whether you don't got something to say, your super chats are always greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, Zach W. Immaculate Mickey coming in with a Canadian donation, it looks like, says, can't get my dad off the Donald Trump train. Isn't that sad? I have many subscribers who have told me exactly that same thing about their family member who's on the Trump train. He's all for Palantir or Palantir, however you say it. Also thinks you're a quack, Jake. You know what's funny is there's another guy who's older, and he says his son is a Trumper, and his son thinks I'm crazy. See, and you say it's your dad who's the Trumper who thinks I'm crazy. So yeah, here's the thing about Trumpers. They're not interested in any negative info that exposes their guy. That would make them embarrassed to admit that they got duped by some government-appointed puppet, right? So no Trumper is ready to go down the Trump might be a government plant and actor rabbit hole, because they don't want to find the truth at the end of that rabbit hole and then go, oh shit, I was wrong. I have to go back on everything I've ever said. It takes a special, strong, intelligent individual to realize they were wrong and then fucking go back on anything and everything they've ever said. I had to do it several different times. I don't mind doing it if I know, like, oh shit, I was wrong. Now I got to correct myself. Well, got to do what you got to do. But there's some people who can't allow themselves to do it. They don't have the, I don't know what the word I'm looking for. They just don't have it in them to admit that they got duped about anything. Cognitive dissonance, I guess you could say. All right, Immaculate Mackie. Totally get what you're saying. You are not the first person to come at me and say that. Meanwhile, I'll show clips of Trump promoting the jab, right? Wearing a little hat and touching the wall at Israel. And that doesn't matter. You can show the old photos where he's hanging out with the Clintons, smiling. That doesn't matter. None of it matters. Whatever you got to show them, the hardest hitting shit, to me, like him promoting the jab, that's it, man. Yeah, but he said that you have your freedom and you don't have to do it. So they make excuses, these people. Habitual excuse makers for Trump. Adam Morgan says AI is Satan. Data centers are taking over. There's some weird shit going on with AI for sure. Like the Bing image creator. Some of the demonic stuff that it just comes up with on its own. Like it'll put like tattoos on people without you asking. You know what I'm saying? So you can ask it to like, oh, show me a picture of a guy hanging out in Las Vegas at the pool, but he's wearing a mask because I want it to make a funny picture of a dude at the pool, but he's wearing a mask. And it'll just on its own have the dude with a pyramid tattoo and eyeball tattoos like all up and down his arm and shit that the AI just fucking added in on its own. You know what I mean? And if you ask it to make you something demonic, whoa, it's like it opens up hell's gates. Like, Well, on a scale of 1 to 10, would you like it to be absolutely absurdly demonic, or would you like to actually open up a gate to hell? like there's no lightly demonic option, right? So if you ask like the Bing image creator, can you create a demonic version of this or that or a satanic? Holy shit, be ready to be freaked out. All right. Adam Morgan. Not sure what exactly runs that shit or how exactly it works, but it's definitely not good. And they're going to blame a lot of stuff on AI. So basically, they can empty people's bank accounts and be like, it was AI, right? They can shut off power, in a major city for just a short while, not even that long, and be like, it was AI. We're going to have to put these different measures in place to stop people from attacking with AI, right? We're going to have to put all these security measures in place because people are using AI to attack us, right? So anything that they do from now on, blow up a city, AI blew up the city, right? Perfect scapegoat. Maybe we should have listened when the people told us that we shouldn't have let AI run wild. Oops, too late. Ryler05 says, have you heard Trump has a catheter? He might have dementia. I don't keep up on stupid crap like that. So there's like several actors who are playing the part of Trump. So which one? So Joe Biden was played, in my opinion, by like 20, 30 different people, and they had AI CGI Joe Biden. Some of those seem to have dementia, and some of them seem to speak just fine, seem to recall events just fine. So there were several versions of Joe Biden that didn't match each other. So when it comes to Trump, I think they've got probably 4 or 5 different Trumps, right? And yes, I've noticed they've had a few segments where Trump is sounding like bumbling Joe Biden. I covered that like several streams back, how Trump was stumbling over his words, almost looking exact and sounding exactly, not looking like, but sounding exactly like Joe Biden in some cases. Thank you, Ryler, for the super chat donation. I think I just might almost be caught up on super chats, and then we can start looking at the riot footage. You guys have been so kind sending me super chats. I haven't had a chance to start showing the riot footage, but it's coming. We got plenty of riot footage to get to. Mr. Meaner, which is slightly less bad than Mr. Felony, says, screw your freedoms. I didn't mean screw your freedoms in a negative way. I did not mean that at all. I fully support your freedoms. What I meant was you need to reinforce your freedom with the screws. Your freedom needs to be reinforced. I want your freedom to be stronger, quite frankly. So if you take the screws, you go to the Home Depot and you get the screws, and then you get a nice, powerful drill, and then you screw in the screws with it to the freedom, and it's reinforced, and then your freedom is more powerful than ever before. What the hell was that? I don't know. Go ask Arnold what that was. Maybe he knows. Because I sure as heck don't. All right. I think I just about caught up. Let me double check here. Trump catheter, AI Satan. Dad thinks you're a quack. Zach, Rose, Lemming, Simone, Kevin, Trout, D-Cram. We're caught up, y'all. We can officially begin the show now. So hi to everybody. I know a bunch of you guys said hey, Jake, and said hi to each other. So hi to everybody. It's about time to get started. We're 20 minutes in. So let's go ahead and pull up the first video. Let's start with Los Angeles mainstream media coverage, and then we'll go from there. I like to start with the mainstream media footage, see what they're saying. And then since it's happening in LA, I thought we'd go ahead and show the LA news footage out of Fox. So Fox considered to be more conservative, LA is a very liberal city, of course. A little bit of a clash of interests here, wouldn't you say?
Another explosive night in Southern California as protests continue over immigration raids. Police and crowds facing off in Los Angeles and Orange County. This morning, law enforcement is gearing up for a 5th day of unrest. Here's a look at the latest developments. President Trump is mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard members to help protect federal buildings in LA. Now, that doubles his initial deployment. Also, 700 U.S. Marines are headed to L.A. The Marines are from an infantry battalion based in 29 Palms.
All right, now some of you guys are like, who cares about L.A.? Well, here's the deal. In the next few days, I'm expecting more major cities to have similar events. Not as bad as what we're seeing here in L.A., but I'm expecting at least bare minimum some protests to all pop off in major cities in the next coming days. So you might live in a city that has a fairly big liberal population and perhaps even a fairly big Hispanic population. So if you live anywhere near a big city with a Hispanic population, you can expect that there will be some sort of manufactured protests in that city as well. Probably near like the city hall or at the city hall, like on the steps or something. Okay. But I'm going to get to all that because there's actually what looks to be like planning for a certain day coming up called, what is it called? No King's Day. So I'll be covering that here shortly once we get through this video.
LAPD says more than 70 people were arrested over the weekend and 5 police officers were hurt. The Trump administration's decision to put more boots on the ground is being met by strong criticism from LA leaders.
Mario Ramirez kicking off our team coverage of.
Honestly, only 70 arrested isn't that high of a number. And they're talking about 700 Marines being deployed. You would figure numbers would be like 700 people arrested, right? With that many people, like, throwing stuff at police. If you've looked at any of the footage already, I'm sure many of you have seen, there's bricks being thrown at the police and fireworks being thrown at the police and rocks being thrown at the police. You'd figure more than 70 arrests with the amount of chaos going on. So it seems the police are backing down and not making a move on these crowds as much as they could be. With only 70 arrests, that suggests that the police are standing down a bit right now, letting the crowd increase the chaos, letting the protesters feel like they have the upper hand even.
Of the protest, joining us live from the Federal Detention Center in downtown. Mario.
Robert, good morning. As local law enforcement is preparing for another day of demonstrations, we can tell you that the National Guard is stationed here around federal buildings. We're just outside the detention center. You can see them there. This federal building really became a focal point for protesters after it emerged.
So yes, Andy, we're going to be getting to that in just a minute. I was going to let a few more people trickle in before I started dropping the big truth bombs. But basically, I'm not going to sit here and tell you everyone's paid because that would be incorrect. So you are incorrect, Andy. There are useful idiots that do get involved. I know personal examples of people in my hometown of Modesto who walked around with signs during the George Floyd protest, right? So the protest was set up by paid protesters, but there were stupid people in my hometown who went out and actually got involved and walked around the downtown area. So I know for a fact, real people do get involved in these protests that are manufactured. So the protests are manufactured. There are a bunch of paid protesters there. However, the paid protesters draw in the useful idiots. The useful idiots show up and their heart is in the right place. They're mad at the government. They don't like what's happening, but they're useful idiots because they're being duped. Their head isn't in the right place. So they show up and they get involved thinking that they're helping and doing the right thing, when in fact they're being duped into supporting a manufactured protest. So they want you to pick a side And it's a lefty versus righty issue. Imagine that. It just happens to be a left versus right issue. They want you to feel one way or the other. They want you to support the government getting rid of illegals, or they want you to support the illegals coming here and staying and leaving people alone. So if you are of Hispanic ethnicity, right, you're definitely going to support your illegal immigrant brothers and sisters, right? Because you don't want to see any of them get kidnapped. And then on the other side, if you are a Trump supporter, you're going to be like, they need to go ahead and deport all them sons of bitches. They need to get rid of all these people protesting and deport them too, right? So they have it set up where it's just perfectly a lefty versus righty issue. How about that? And they make it out like this is naturally, organically just happening because the government is trying to crack down on immigration and doing these ICE raids and whatnot. But the government could do immigration raids a lot more stealthy and secretive. So they're making it public on purpose, and they have the hired protesters like you're talking about. And then that draws in the useful idiots, the regular people who find themselves getting involved because they stick themselves on one side or the other. See how that works? So I promise you, there are real people getting involved because they're stupid. And then here's the other thing. There are troublemakers who show up. So whenever you have one of these protests, it draws in the young troublemakers, the teenagers, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, right? Early 20s, the thugs and the hoodlums who feel like this is a perfect opportunity to go destroy shit. Believe it or not, there are young men in LA who have nothing better to do than to destroy public property because they're angry and they're not happy with their life and they're poor and they're miserable. So they find this a perfect opportunity to entertain themselves by showing up to this. They're not protesting and they're not peaceful by any means. So some of these thugs aren't paid protesters. They're just fucking idiots who want to fucking start shit and destroy shit. So I promise you there are real people getting involved for the wrong reasons and what they think are the right reasons. And they're being duped by picking a side, the left side in this situation. All right, so let's continue. And I'll probably have to repeat that a few times throughout the night as more people show up, because that's the main point here. It's manufactured and it is drawing in some real people.
That ICE detainees were being held here, and now hundreds of Marines are expected to join the National Guard under Trump's orders as tensions continue escalating. Take a look. About 700 U.S. Marines from the 2nd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment out of 29 Palms received weekend orders and are on the way, expected to arrive this morning. And although they're trained for close combat, officials say these Marines won't be on the front lines. Instead, they'll be focused on crowd control and de-escalation. Those are skills that they've been trained in.
So far, I'm seeing a lot of videos of the Marines standing like this, just standing there, doing nothing. And then a bunch of protesters like, what, motherfucker? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, put down that shield. Put down your badge. Come on, bitch. Right? And meanwhile, they have plenty of shots of the police not doing anything, just standing there. So they're making sure to show the public across the United States that there's plenty of these police just being peaceful and standing there and not harming the citizens and not doing anything. And it's the citizens with the masks throwing shit, escalating the situation, throwing fireworks, and they're calling themselves peaceful protesters. So they're doing a good job of also gaslighting the Trump supporters here into picking the side on the right. Like, they need to deport all these sons of bitches. They're lucky that these cops are being nice. If it was one of these other countries where these sons of bitches come from, the government would just mow them all down, shoot them all down on the spot. You don't see these sons of bitches protesting in the countries where they come from. They need to go back where they come from. They took her, right? There's that total right-winger side that you can play up here. They need to get rid of all these illegal sons of bitches and anyone protesting. And what they do here, it's so clever. They get both sides to feel like they're right. Both sides feel like they are fighting the right side. If you support Trump, you need to get rid of these filthy illegals who are burning cars and shit. Get rid of them all. It's the right thing to do. And then if you are, let's say, somebody who lives in California and has family members who are here undocumented illegally, well, then, yeah, Trump's a piece of shit and fuck Trump. And you're going to go out there with a sign because you feel very strongly about your family members possibly being kidnapped. And see, so they can get both sides to feel like they're fighting the good fight on the right side. Mr. Meaner says, escape from LA, Snake Bliskin, Hollywood predictive programming. Hollywood predictive programming always, bro. So there's several different things that I wrote down here. They have an us versus them mentality as far as government versus the people. So if you're a lefty here, this is kind of like a government us versus them, the man versus us, the people sort of thing. And then if you are on the right, it's a left versus right, Democrat versus Republican thing. And then if you don't like white people, let's say you're Hispanic and you're pissed off at white people, well, then it's a brown people versus white people kind of thing. If you look at it, there's the race card that's thrown in here. I'm seeing Mexican flags and Honduras flags, El Salvador flags like being flown while people are like burning cars and attacking the cops and whatnot. And it's like, okay, well, that's obviously some race war bait there. Some brown versus white action there. And a lot of them are saying, fuck Trump, fuck the ICE, right? So definitely red versus blue, conservative versus liberal, right versus wrong. Both sides think that they're right and that the other side's wrong. Man, they got this one lined up perfectly. You got to give the script writers credit, man. They run this shit up the flag, and then they get everyone, taking to social media, telling you which side they support and why. Very few guys like me saying it's being manufactured. This was written and scripted ahead of time. Ain't it funny that this doesn't coincide with Trump and Elon breaking up? Trump and Elon break up, but this isn't there to distract people away from their breakup. Now that their breakup is officially over, now it's LA riot time. You can't have the LA riot and the Trump-Elon breakup going on at the exact same time, because then people are going to have to pick one story or the other. It's just, so they scripted it just perfect. Trump-Elon breakup. All right, now that's over. Now it's riot time, y'all. And then just as people stop giving a fuck about LA, because some people don't care about LA, then they're going to have the protests pop off at a city near you. So I expect this to keep going for minimum another week. We're looking at probably 7 more days of this or more. The next thing we're going to see is this popping off in other cities. Probably won't be as bad, but I'm guessing, Phoenix, other places that have a high concentration of Latinos, maybe some places in Texas, some of them towns with high Latino concentrations, you will see some protests popping off.
Instead, they'll be focused on crowd control and de-escalation. Those are skills that they've been trained in specifically for this mission. That, according to U.S. Northern Command, which confirmed that those Marines will support the more than 2,000 National Guard troops already activated across the area. And late yesterday, the Pentagon said it's mobilizing an additional 2,000 National Guard troops under President Trump's order. And that now pushes the number of military personnel to more than 4,000, with growing opposition from Governor Newsom and Mayor Karen Bass, the governor calling the deployment unnecessary, saying it'll only inflame tensions. Now, if we come back out here to our live shot, we've been seeing these National Guard troops checking IDs for employees entering the building. The president's move to activate these National Guard troops marks the first time the federal government has done so without a governor's consent since the 60s. Again, they won't be on the front lines with local law enforcement like the LAPD taking people into.
Okay, so one thing I've noticed, y'all, there's not a single report of anybody opening fire on the police. So we're talking about LA, right? where there's plenty of gang violence, plenty of murders, right? So a black dude in LA has no problem shooting another black dude in the hood. Go to East LA and there's Mexican gang members shooting other Mexican gang members, right? But not one single troublemaker has decided to open fire on the cops. But they will throw fireworks. So I'm going to show you some footage coming up of people throwing fireworks, throwing rocks and throwing shit, but nobody actually firing at them. So it's as if these protesters want to slightly burn and inconvenience the police, but they don't want to actually hurt them for real. Okay. So whenever I see fireworks being thrown, that's some paid protester shit. Throwing fireworks at armed police officers isn't something any regular person would do, because why risk getting your ass shot by a cop with a gun just so you can mildly inconvenience him, right? Plus, these cops, they got all this body armor on and shields. If you throw a firework at them, chances are it's going to do absolutely nothing. At the very most, slightly burn them. And if they have a firearm, like this last dude, right? Right? Like this. I wouldn't dare throw a firework at that motherfucker. You wouldn't catch me throwing a firework or anything at any of these dudes, unless I was paid to do it and I knew for a fact that they weren't going to shoot my ass. If they were like, Jake, we would like to pay you to throw this firework at these police officers. It's not going to hurt them. It's a gimmicked firework. It's extremely safe. All we need you to do is light this firework and throw it at these police officers. And we're going to get the whole thing on camera. And then we're going to put that on the news. And we're going to give you $500. And all you got to do is throw this firework at these police and then yell, fuck Trump, and then run away. Oh, that's all I got to do. And I make $500. So yes, when you see people walking up and throwing fireworks and shit at the police, some of this stuff can be easily staged and scripted for the cameras. Because then you got to figure, well, it can't be that dangerous, because why are the cameramen out there getting all this perfect shot, right?
Government has done so without a governor's consent since the 60s. Again, they won't be on the front lines with local law enforcement like the LAPD taking people in.
Let's get to some more exciting footage, because this is some mild footage. And I know there's some better footage I can be showing you than that. So that was just a news report out of LA. Let me find one that shows a little more violence, right? A little more chaos. We'll ramp it up a little bit here. How about this one? Get back, you go! All right. These are not actual guns that fire bullets. This is like tear gas launchers and rubber bullet guns and stuff. So nobody is firing any actual bullets here. And I can argue that, how do we even know it's tear gas? They could just be doing a training drill on camera where they shoot harmless smoke grenades. And then they film this LARP session. And then they show this to us and tell us that this is riot footage, right? Look, guys, see? Tear gas. Or is it just harmless smoke? How would you know? You ain't there.
We see you for what you are, a terrorist organization. ICE out of Paramount. You are not welcome here.
Ones like this, I would guess, are hired. So like Andy mentioned, hired protesters. This looks like a hired protester to me. The megaphone, the cadence of speech, the mask, globe on the shirt. This has all the hallmarks of a paid protester right here. Looks like we got a defector here, a distractor in the chat who needs to get taken out. All right. So one thing I notice is there's people with Mexican flags, people with like Honduras flags, other places in Central America, right? And it's funny because it's like they aren't willing to go live in their country in poverty, much more poor conditions. They aren't willing to risk their life to go back to the country that they're so proud of, but they're so proud of the country that they want to come to this country and then wave around that flag of the place that they don't want to be. Like, guys, I have roots in Europe like any white person, but guess what I don't do? I don't wave around any fucking European flags of any kind. I don't. You know why? Because my ass was born here in California and my parents were born in the United States, right? And my grandparents were born in the United States. So I got to go back several generations for the ones that came over from, I think one of my family's bloodlines ties right back to England. And like, I think my aunt said, like, we came, like, our, my mom's side came over from England. Anyway, so like, I don't go waving a UK flag, right? Or Scottish flag, British flag, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I find it funny that these people are like, oh, I love Mexico so much that I want to leave Mexico and go to someplace that's not Mexico and then wave the Mexican flag because I love it so much, which is why I had to leave because I don't like it there because it sucks there, which is why I love it there so much and I'm so proud. I don't know. I just don't understand that, but whatever. Yeah, these guys right here don't seem to mind. If that was real tear gas, if those were real rubber bullets, are you just going to be like, it's going to plug my nose. This should be sufficient. Right? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. I'm out here getting footage. They shot tear gas, but I'm good because I have my nose plugged. So I don't have to worry about sniffing any tear gas. These freaking ICE, I don't like them. So I'm going to stand here and film. Because fuck Trump. This lady with the fucking umbrella. Like, what's up with the umbrella, Mary Poppins? What is this? What? Is this just in case it starts to rain? Is this to block the rubber bullets? I don't know, man. Kind of weird.
There is nobody at your gate besides you.
Now, apparently, this lady with the mask, she is so messed up on tear gas that she needs to lay down and take a nap.
Water in my bag.
Look, the same thing happened to her that happened to Trump, you guys. She got shot in her ear The same thing that happened to Trump, you guys. Whoa.
Excuse me.
Isn't the mask supposed to protect you from tear gas? It didn't seem like those masks were very effective. And then you see people removing their masks because they got tear gas. Oh, really? Shouldn't that have cut down the amount of tear gas that got into your fucking system? Oh, you're going to take off your tear gas so you can cough, or take off your mask so you can cough up the tear gas. Okay. Now, look, these are not paid protesters. I promise you, this is not what a paid protester looks like. These are the useful idiots. So, useful idiots who live in the area, they just want to stand around and film with their phone. And so they get themselves involved. So, sometimes people who aren't even involved in the protest, but they live near here, like some of these people right here, they look like they're like kids who like were on their way home from school who just fucking happen to just get involved. You see what I'm saying? So this sort of shit does draw in useful idiots. You will find real people of various degree, from protesters to people who just want to go start trouble, to just random people who just want to film and put it on the internet. All right, pay attention to homeboy right here. I want you guys to watch this. Okay, he's got his hand on his pocket, y'all. What is he gonna grab? What's he gonna grab and what's he gonna do? Let's put it in slow motion here. Water bottle. It's gonna throw some water at him. He's gonna maybe get the police wet. It's gonna really stun those police who are armored to the T and have shields if you were to throw a plastic water bottle at them, for sure. Homeboy just threw a water bottle. Jake, you don't know. It could have been flammable liquid inside. It could be a plastic bottle full of sulfuric acid, and it's going to melt the police officers. But it's not strong enough to melt through the bottle. Maybe, I don't know. It's too clear to be pee, bro. It looked like just a straight up water bottle, man. Just straight up throw some water into a cloud of smoke. Like, it didn't even look like he was aiming at anything in particular. Just hucking some water. Look at Fat. Oh, wait. Never mind. I can't say that. I'm not allowed to point at any individual and call him a fat fuck, because that's against YouTube's policies. But there is one individual who you guys might consider a fat fuck. And I don't think that would be a problem if you guys considered someone on this screen a fat fuck who probably shouldn't be jiggling around on camera like that. I think it's perfectly okay for you guys to consider someone on screen a grotesque, jiggly, fucking portly fellow. But I'm not allowed to point at anyone specifically and say that. That's against the rules. I don't know which guy I'm talking about. Maybe you guys know who I'm talking about. One person waves an American flag, another person waves a Mexican flag. Make up your mind. Bo Perkins says he can't send money. Weird. Hold up, Bo. Let me read that. Bo says, I sent a bunch, now it won't let me. WTF. Do you have another account? Maybe you can do it. Maybe you can try that, or see if maybe what you're saying they don't like. Sometimes people type stuff that the YouTube doesn't like. And so like if you reword it or type a different sentence or whatever, sometimes it works that way. So yeah, but I have seen other people mention what you're talking about. So you wouldn't be the first one to have this problem. Bo says, not blaming Jake, but I'm upset I can't send funds. Yeah, there's weird shit that goes down with my channel. Sometimes I'll get, 20, 30 super chats in a row without any problem. Nobody says they're having any issues. And then other times, several different people in the same stream will say that they're not being allowed to send money. So I don't know what causes that or what the issue is. Mr. Meaner says, look at all the fridges out there. Fridges? What do you mean fridges? I don't see any fridges. I'm not sure what you mean. Fridges. I might be missing something, bro. Oh, you mean portly people. I got you now. I was thinking like actual refrigerators, like on the ground. Okay. Gotcha. So I think some of these people show up and then they're just like random teenagers and troublemakers who just want to be a part of it. You know what I mean? And so I think some of these people aren't paid. Like there's a lot of trashy, shitty people who are poor in poverty in LA who would go do something like this for no reason other than to entertain themselves. So if you think like nobody in their right minds would go do this sort of thing unless they're being paid, think again. If people are paid to do this, it will draw in the troublemakers and hoodlums who will come do this for free. And I'm going to show you proof that they are recruiting people to come do shit like this for free. I'm going to show you that coming up. So stick around. I got the proof. They are openly recruiting people to do this in a city near you. All right. So there's some footage that looks pretty intense, but then when you really, scratch the surface a little deeper, dig deeper, it's like, okay, do we even know that any of that was tear gas or could it just be smoke grenades? A lot of what we saw could have been training drills rather than actual riot footage. How would you know? A well-trained, practiced training drill could be passed off as real, and the sheeple wouldn't know the difference.
Holy cow, they're throwing bricks at the police.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
LA has erupted over the past few days as ICE officials came in and carried out a few raids. The past few days have been wild here on the streets of LA. Cars have been burnt, intersections have been taken over. Local and state officials are not happy with what's going on with the federal government. The footage you're about to see is absolutely insane. The police are coming through right now. Speak no more and get into the video. Everyone's out here protesting right now. ICE came through here down in LA. The streets are erupting here.
So here's an example of a white guy putting himself in this chaos and doing it for clicks. But this motherfucker already has 541,000 subs. And look, in one day, 1,800,000 views. That's going to go over 2 million by tomorrow for sure. So he'll easily make all the money it took to get there. And, you know, he'll make bank on this. So for me to drive down there and put myself in that chaos, it just ain't worth it. And I doubt that I would get that many views. I would maybe get 20,000, 30,000 if I was lucky, maybe make a couple $100 in ad revenue, but that I would eat up a couple $100 in gas just getting down there. California gas is expensive, and it's a 6-hour drive for me just to get down there. So whenever I see videos of guys putting themselves in this situation, then I always consider like, okay, what if somebody attacks me? What if like somehow like, you know, I get jumped, you know, by hoodlums? I just think of the things that can go wrong, and it overrides, you know, chasing the view count. That's why you don't see me down there. Bo Perkins says, my roommate believes it all. Typical sheep, believes in NFL. That's why I took a baseball bat to his TV. He can't watch this on that TV now. Ha 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 ha. Well, TVs are cheap, so I'm sure he's bought a new one by now. And yeah, so this guy right here, Bo, he baseball batted his roommate's TV because he's a Falcons fan, and his Falcons fan roommate was watching some NFL fake action, and I guess Bo got irritated to the point where he baseball batted his roommate's TV, and then he got kicked out. So it's his former roommate now. But this is like the second time he's told the story. So he really wants everyone to know about the time that he baseball batted his roommate's TV. So hey, everybody, just to let you know, if you're an NFL fan and you're going to be renting a room to Bo, strong chance he might baseball bat your TV. Glad to see you were able to sneak this one past the YouTube censors and give me some super chat love, bro. All right. The sober scalper says, bro, having a bath, soapy fingers in the bottom. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I'm not going to comment on that. Bo says, he didn't believe in your videos, Jake. He's a sheep. Well, obviously, if you had to ball bat his TV, if he's that big of a Falcons fan. Hey, any Falcons fan who didn't wake up when Tom Brady ripped their heart out in the Super Bowl in scripted fashion, then they deserve to be fucking miserable and watch their team lose. You know what? So every year that his team sucks, that's more misery for him. So I guess that's what he deserves, right? So be happy that your friend who's a sheeple and an NFL fan is living in misery watching the Falcons lose. There's almost no chance they're going to be good this next year. Like zero chance they're going to win the Super Bowl. So rest assured this next year, they're probably going to suck or just be okay. And they won't win the Super Bowl and he won't be happy. Meanwhile, you know it's fake. Thanks again, Bo Perkins. The sober scalper says, not really. Oh, sure. You're in your bathtub fingering your own bunghole, but not really. Sure, buddy. Sure. No, I believe you. I believe that you're not really fingering your bunghole in the bathtub, bro. All right, let's get back to it.
Let's see what's going on. National Guard has been deployed out here into the streets of LA. Thousands of protesters are here on the streets right now. Right here on this federal building, you have words like F-ICE, revolution starting here for my family.
Bo says, we need to do what Nick is doing, but at NFL. Here's the thing. I've talked about this already, and I even mentioned earlier, if you go put yourself in a situation where you can be attacked and arrested, you have to ask, is it really worth it for the view counts, or is it really worth it, to protest the NFL? People who love the NFL aren't going to stop going to the games if you show up and tell them it's fake. So people who have a ticket and are going to an NFL game and have a jersey on and they're already drunk, liquored up, if you tell them it's fake, there's a high probability that they might attack you. And there's zero chance you're going to get them to stop being a fan. So it's kind of like you'd be wasting your time. Whereas someone like me, I could at least make a video about it and at least make some money on it. But even I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to be arrested for, being on public property outside of an NFL game and then protesting the NFL and then having their security kick me out or whatever. So I don't want to have any sort of negative consequences of putting myself, in a situation where I can be attacked or arrested or what have you. So I even think even if I'm chasing views just for money, it still might not be worth it. So Bo, for you, it definitely damn sure wouldn't be worth it. And I would recommend that nobody go to an NFL game and try and protest, because there's a high likelihood of a drunken fan attacking you. And if there's multiple drunken fans, they might all gang up on you, which would be extra bad. Tom N says, this kid is part of the show. They are using him to make viral videos and get young people ratings. The story lives longer that way. Yeah, whenever I see a check mark next to somebody's YouTube channel and they've got millions of subs or they're getting millions of views, I'm always skeptical of that. So yeah, I thought about that too. So we're just looking at all this footage and I'm nitpicking the stuff that we see. So I don't take any of this footage at face value. I nitpick the shit out of everything. So I'm just trying to find footage that's not typical mainstream media footage, because the mainstream media footage is just all cut up, talked over, watered down. So at least stuff like this, we'll get to see several minutes of not super spliced mainstream media footage. Thank you, Tom. Bo says he was a drunken fan, always slamming cores, gross. Bro, I was once a drunken idiot NFL fan. In fact, in California, we're on Pacific time. So that means the East Coast games start at 10 a.m. So that means for me, a Dolphins fan back in the day when I was a Dolphins fan, I would have to set my alarm for 9 a.m. And I don't even like to get up early in the morning. So I'd have to set my alarm so that I could go to the bar. And this was back before streaming and shit, when you'd have to go to a sports bar in order to watch your out of market team. So I would go to a sports bar at 10 in the morning. And sometimes my mom would go and she'd be drinking at 10 in the morning. I'd usually wait till around 11 or noon. I'd have to eat breakfast first, but then by noon or so, then I would be drinking too. So there were times where by noon, I was sitting there drinking in a bar, yelling at the fucking TV screen. So I know exactly what it's like to be an idiot yelling at the TV screen. And now I'm the number one guy in the world who exposes that the NFL is fake. So I have come a long way from an NFL drunken TV watching buffoon yelling at the television to the top guy in the world pointing at the fakest plays and converting fans into former fans. Thank you, Bo Perkins. Let me make sure I'm all caught up on super chats, and then we'll watch a little bit of this video. I won't subject you to all of this entire video, but we'll watch some of it. Oh, and one ballers. I missed your super chat, and I totally missed one from last week from you. So let me catch up on both and one baller super chats. Almost missed one from and one baller. My bad, buddy. So and one baller says, are events like these considered demonic rituals? This one isn't so much demonic, satanic, ritualistic type thing. This one's more like scripted news that accomplishes a goal. It keeps the right versus left paradigm fully intact. It keeps the left side hating Trump, and it keeps and it's also like some race war, some like race bait here, some white versus brown action here. So this one's more like a scripted news event that's going to capture the attention of the public and get people to feel a certain way. So this one's more like an event that can cause people to let their anger and their hatred out. So maybe you could call it a demonic ritual if you want to say like it causes people to feel negative and hateful, which you could consider like a demonic spirit harvest, right? So I guess you could consider it in a way a demonic ritual. And you sent a super chat in the last stream that I missed. So it asked if I thought that if boxing and UFC are more or less rigged than other sports. I think that's what you asked, and I totally missed it. So as far as your last question about UFC and boxing being more rigged than other sports or less rigged, when it comes to boxing and MMA, it's based solely on how much that particular fight has riding on it. So the big fights from that have more money on them are going to be for sure scripted down to a T. So for instance, Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, or Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, those are going to be super scripted down to the T without any chance of anything fucking happening out of the ordinary, right? So those fights are examples that have millions and millions of dollars. Whereas a second-rate MMA fight that doesn't have that much money on the line, they might possibly let that fight go down and let the two fighters just beat each other up. So let's say there's a fight where hardly anyone has a bet on it and the books don't give a shit. They'd be more likely to let a fight like that just let both fighters go in there and do whatever they want. Whereas if the fight has a notable amount of bets and one side has significantly more money than the other, that's when you're going to see then the books step in and tell the UFC or whatever the fighting organization is, hey, we need this outcome. And then they'll go ahead and tell the fighter, hey, we're going to need to have you go ahead and lose this fight by decision. So we're going to go ahead and let your opponent know. So your opponent knows, you both know, we need you to take this one all the way, the full 3 rounds, because most everyone is betting on a knockout win. So we need to have this fight go to a decision victory. So there's a number of different ways they can control it from the top down, but the more money on the line, the more scripted it's going to be. So as far as like a fight like Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather, they're going to have the exact round, the exact ending, and everything planned out to a T with zero chance of any other scenario happening. And now with fighting, it's one man versus one man. And then you can have, a large amount of bets, small amount of bets, medium amount of bets on one particular fight. So all you have to do is just control the outcome of that particular fight. And you can do it in a number of different ways, from telling the fighters what you want to have happen to having the judges just raise the arm of the incorrect fighter. So you can have the guys go to a decision and then just have the guy, who didn't really win the fight, have the judges pick him. See, so the judges, being able to select a winner, that's always there to cover your ass. Okay, and then you asked if it was any more or less rigged than other sports. The NFL is the top dog with money being bet. So the biggest money is bet on NFL games. And then, of course, the playoff games and the Super Bowl is going to draw gigantic amount of money, not just on the spread, not just on the over-under, but also you have fantasy games. So people are going to bet money on, whether a quarterback's going to throw for X amount of yards, X amount of touchdowns, and all that stuff. So if a game like the Super Bowl, they have every damn detail of it taken care of to where nobody is going to fleece the books, right? So there you go. Sorry for missing your super chat from last week, buddy. And anybody wondering why I went off on that rant about betting and the NFL and stuff like that, I missed his super chat last week where he asked that question. And I don't want any of my subs who donate feeling like, I didn't care about your super chat. So I will go back to a week before and answer a super chat the following week if I find that I accidentally missed somebody's super chat. All right.
All sorts of stuff. Right here you have the National Guard. They've come through. You have troops, about 300 in different directions. Trump sent in about 2,000 people. There's groups of 300 sent around the city right here. And this one is at the side of the federal building here at one of the ICE detention centers here. And
yeah, so what they have is they'll have staged areas of chaos where they can have a certain area where they'll have bricks set up and cars set up. And then they'll tell this certain paid group, okay, at X time, we want you to go over here and use these bricks and throw it at these cop cars. And then what we're going to have you do is we're going to have you light the cop car on fire. And we have all the different news agencies here with their cameras all lined up, and we're going to get this footage. And this is the footage that's going to go out across the nation. Okay? So imagine you want to get the perfect shot for the news. Are you going to wait for the hoodlums to light cars on fire and then risk the danger to go over there and film it? Or you can hire some paid hoodlums, paid protesters to light a specific car on fire that you have set up in a certain area where you have the road blocked off. See what I'm saying? So they can block off a certain section of a neighborhood here, have 2 cars set up, and then they can just film a scene where people throw bricks at the cars and light the cars on fire. And then they splice up that footage. And then all the news organizations now have their footage for the protests that they can splice in to their news reel. See, so yeah, when you think about it from a creating television script writing standpoint, a lot of what we're seeing can easily be set up and staged, but I'm not going to say everything is staged. There are troublemakers who will show up and throw shit at the police. So I think that some of the real arrests that get made are the people who show up and get involved who aren't paid protesters. So imagine if you're a fucking troublemaking teen and you want to go get in on this because you're bored, and then you start throwing rocks at the cops, and then they realize like, oh, we got this kid over here who's not one of our paid people. So that's a case where you see the cops move in, take someone down and arrest them as if it isn't one of their paid people. And they start throwing rocks, getting involved. See? So thank you, Tom N. Looks like I had a few super chats come in. Let me go back and catch up, and then I'll get back to this footage here. All right. Texas Jules 22 says, at Jake is the GOAT exposing the NFL being fake. Oh, thank you very much. And you know what? I got to go ahead and pat myself on the back. I am the greatest of all time at exposing the NFL. Ain't nobody who can do it like me, and there never will be another who will come along and overshadow me. I am the man who exposes the NFL. You're damn right. Go me. Thank you very much, Texas Jules 22, for telling me what I already know. The Sober Scalper says, Jake, when the lunar module left the moon, how did it reach 3,000 miles an hour so it can attach to the main control unit? Need to know. Yeah, I'd love to see footage of that module, after it left the moon, it like rejoining with the rest of the command rocket or whatever they call it. Yeah, so that they can come back to Earth for sure. Yeah, I'd love to see that footage. But even if they had that footage, it would look stupid and fake as fuck. And if we point at it and say, look how fake that looks, people who believe it's real go, just because you say it's fake doesn't mean it's fake. Somebody like Simon Dan would just say that the reason that you're asking that question is because you're uneducated and personal incredulity, right? So you making that point just gets turned into an attack by some globe cuck. Well, if you would have graduated from science class in high school, you would know that answer already. They say some stupid shit like that, right? Oh, and then I had one from D-Cran telling people to slam the thumbs up button. Hell yeah. Let's go back and pull that one up and have everyone slam the thumbs up button. All right. Let's go ahead and hold the stream hostage for a second. We have over 600 people watching. That is a nice crowd for a Tuesday night. So go ahead and give me a thumbs up right now. Let's do a thumbs up drive. Let me pull up the super chat real quick, and then I'll see how many thumbs up we actually have. And then I'll set a goal, a thumbs up goal for us to reach. There it is. Decran, the man, says 600 viewers and 300 likes. Only 300. Let me see how many there are on my end. On my end, it shows 367 thumbs up. Let's get to 400 thumbs up. That should be easy. 400 thumbs up. With 600 watching, 400 thumbs up should be here in a snap. Come on, make it happen. 400 thumbs up. While you guys are making that happen, looks like I got a few more super chats coming in. One from Lent Away Duct Cleaning, the best damn air duct cleaning service this side of the Mississippi. He says, Neil deGrasse impression, please. What if the sun was bigger? Well, it might shock you, but in fact, if the sun was larger, then it would actually be colder. And that is simply because larger bodies, larger suns, have been shown and documented to emit less heat. So therefore, a larger sun would be emitting less heat. So therefore, less heat would be reaching the Earth, which would make the Earth a lot colder of a place, if indeed the sun was bigger. One of the things about science is that it teaches us there is always more to know. And if we know that there's more that we don't know than there is that we do know, well, then that truly is what the purpose of science is all about. There you go. Lint away, air duct, cleaning. Sober Scalper says, bro, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much you hate Simon Dan? Sorry. I'll say a 9. He's made many videos about me and he's annoying. And it would be fun to bitch slap his Nancy bitch ass. Because I could, like, I think in under a minute, I could destroy him in a fight. Like MMA, bare knuckle boxing, street fight, what have you. I think like 30 seconds, I would have that man thoroughly destroyed. But if I really think about it, other than him slandering me and making globe cuck videos, saying personal incredulity and shit, he never did anything to like really harm me. Whereas somebody like Jaron Campanella, I would say I hate Jaronism more. So I'll say Jaronism is a full 10. So I can't say Simon Dan is a full 10 because he never tried to file a false restraining order against me. You know what I mean? He didn't try and like throw me under the bus amongst my peers. He just did the globe cuck thing and say that, you know, I'm personal incredulity, flat earther, or whatever, you know. So I'll just say, because he's an annoying twat bag and he has made videos about me, it's a 9. All right. Now I think I'm caught up. Finally. Nope. Davey D telling people to hit the thumbs up. And then we're caught up. Davey D says, yes, likes up. This is Truther Tuesday. Indeed, it is Truther Tuesday. Let me see how many thumbs up we got on my end. Drum roll. We got 415. All right, let's move along.
LA. What's your message to the National Guard here today?
The National Guard.
And why do you think they got sent out here today?
They got sent because we don't have a president that can lead.
What fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through?
So the Marines got sent. The military got sent out there because Donald Trump doesn't know how to lead. So it's all Donald Trump's fault for not being a good leader.
Because we don't have a president that can lead.
What fears you most about Donald Trump and the ICE raids coming through here in Los
I don't fear that motherfucker. Have you seen our community? I don't feel that motherfucker.
Donald Trump, homeboy on a motherfucking real fuck that piece of shit.
What's the water for?
Yeah, I don't feel that motherfucker. Yeah, fuck Trump. Let's say, yeah, Holmes, you wanna come down here and mess with us, Holmes? Come on, Trump. I'll beat Trump's ass right now. Let's say, man, Trump's afraid of me, man. Whenever I walk around, man, I don't see no Trump in no eyes because Trump is afraid of me, man. He's afraid of me and my essays and my homeboys, you know. That's why you don't see no Trump around here. That's because he's afraid, you know, man.
Diffuse tear gas. If you need it. Yeah. If you throw a canister in one of these, it should diffuse it enough, or at least stop the chemical reaction.
What makes you want to come out here with the Honduras flag out here?
I mean, these are my roots right here, you know? This is where my family came from. I'm a first gen.
A lot of people wonder on social media, why are people coming out here?
Looks like I missed the super chat. Frank Castle says, have you seen the movie Nefarious? No, I have not. I remember you said modern movies suck, but this one I liked. You missed my super chat, asshole. I'll go back and read it right now, buddy. No, I haven't watched any new movies. The only new movie that I've seen well, I haven't seen the previews for it, but I saw a post. I saw a post on Facebook that said Spinal Tap 2 is coming out in September. And it showed a picture of the Spinal Tap band, and they're really old now. But it looks like, from what I read, that Spinal Tap's coming back. So If Spinal Tap comes back, even though it probably will be disappointing and nowhere near as funny as the first one, I will go watch Spinal Tap. Looks like I missed a couple super chats, so let me go back and check those out. And thanks, Frank Castle, for the super chats, buddy, homie. Let's see how long ago you sent it. Jake's the GOAT. And Modular left. Bo Perkins, Tom, Anwin Ballers. Oh, replacement skylights. Way back. Wants me to do an impression of Jason Brashears. My bad. So Rose just sent me a message saying that I missed a super chat a while ago. So let me scroll back a ways. Somebody is requesting that I do a impression of Archaics. So stick around for that. If you guys know Jason Archaics. I actually lost a handful of subscribers after I exposed him last week. There were people that don't care about any crimes he's committed in the past. They like his books. And so the people that like his books don't care that he did anything to any young kids in the past. They don't care about any of his crimes or anything that he's said that is contradictory. They don't care about his Las Vegas gambling scam shit that he's trying to push. They don't care. So there was a handful of people who were like, Jake, I'm unsubscribing from you because you said something negative about Jason. Okay, bye-bye. Dang, it was a while ago. All right, guys, I'm scrolling back as fast as it'll go so that I can catch up with these super chats. I don't want to have anyone feeling like I took their money and didn't read their super chat. Okay, here we go. Finally found it. Replacement Skylights says, can you do an impersonation of Jason Brashears threatening to beat his roommate's TV for watching NFL a la Bo Perkins style? Hey, brother. Now, I got sick of one of my roommates. He's one of them fans of the NFL. He doesn't know the NFL's rigged, brother. So he was in there watching the NFL. He was getting loud. He was interrupting my live stream while he was yelling at the TV. So I had to go in there and set his ass straight. So I went in there and I pulled out my knife and I got me a big machete. And I was already a little liquored up on coffee and bourbon. I like to mix bourbon inside my coffee. And I was already taking shots out of a big glass cock. So I was already a little liquored up. So I went in there and I pulled out my machete and I done stuck it up to his throat. And I said, hey, you listen here. You need to shut your mouth. I don't care if you watch your fake football. But you are not going to interrupt me while I'm doing my stream for my brothers. I'm trying to teach them how to beat Vegas. I got a program how to beat Vegas. And you're interrupting my live stream, brother. So, needless to say, he's going to be quiet for the rest of the night now. There you go. Replacement skylights. So I guess that's more of an impersonation of him telling you about how he threatened his roommate. Close enough. Okay. And then, did I miss any other ones? Oh, yeah, Frank Castle. Almost forgot Frank Castle's last super chat. So let me go back and grab Frank Castle's last super chat, and then we can get back to the riots. Sometimes, 10 super chats come in a row, and by the time I finish reading them and I go to start the video, then I'll get a text that I missed the super chat. And then I got to scroll back and go get the super chat that I missed. And then by that time, there's 2 or 3 new ones. And then before I know it, I've spent the last damn 30, 40 minutes just reading super chats. But it's good, though. I really appreciate the support. Wow, this was a long time ago that Frank Castle sent the super chat that I missed. My bad, buddy. I'm almost there. And I'm losing viewers by the minute while I'm going back and scrolling back to do this. Stick around, you guys. I'm going to finish this video soon. I have like one last super chat to go back and get. And then we'll resume. Holy shit. Mr. Meaner. Oh, damn, I need to stay up on the super chat thing so I don't lose track. This is ridiculous. I'm having to go back a long ways. Oh my God, come on. Okay, it's taking so long to scroll back. I'll just read it off of the other watch page. Frank Castle says they got a hotbed for a proper false flag event now. Can't believe these 2 words are banned. He had to say false flag using a PH instead of an F. So yeah, Frank Castle's missed super chat says they got a hotbed for a proper false flag event now. Indeed. So now they can have, anything pop off. And then here in a few more days, they're supposed to have other cities join in and have protests of their own. So they could have any sort of event pop off in any one of these major cities, not just LA. Oh my God. So many damn super chats. Sober Scalper says them protesters have personal incredulity, or however you spell it. Yeah, you definitely spelled that wrong because you didn't graduate from spelling class because of personal incredulity. Shota Seb says Eric Dubé look like a lady song. Eric Dubé, he looks like a lady. Eric Dubé, he looks like a lady. Bum ba na 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 bum ba na 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 na. Eric Dubé, he look like a lady. Cow. There you go. Eric Dubé looked like a lady. Just for you. Showed a Seb. Tom says this stuff's so staged. How do people not see? Okay, I think I've just about caught up on all the super chats. If I missed any super chats, somebody let me know. But I think we're finally able to get back to the video now.
With other nationalities' flags, if they don't like America, why don't they go back?
I love America and what it represents. The idea of America to our people is a better future and an opportunity to have a job and create something that in our homes we don't have, So we love America. We want to be here. We want to contribute, and I agree. The people that have committed crimes and, like an actual crime, murder, something like that, I can agree with that. I'm not going to be a hypocrite and say, no, keep everybody here. Yeah. But the people who are here, hardworking people.
Right now, do you think it's right for them to go after the most dangerous people like they say they're doing?
I mean, I don't see nobody here has attacked them. And they initiated all of this. We're peacefully protesting. They're the ones that come out with riot shields. They come out with billy clubs and all kinds of shit.
So this guy says peaceful protests, but we've seen examples of people throwing shit, throwing bricks, throwing fireworks, starting cars on fire. So it's not exactly peaceful. So that's kind of some horse shit, that everyone's peaceful and that it's all the cops who are doing all the non-peaceful stuff. No. Plenty of videos of people throwing shit, trying to antagonize the cops. And then this guy's another one of those flag guys, Mr. Honduras flag here. But he doesn't want to go back to Honduras. So he loves Honduras so much, he wears a Honduras flag, but he doesn't want to go back to Honduras and risk his life to live there in poverty.
I don't know who's the aggressor here, but it ain't us.
You! I can't wait to know you! Take off your badge, big boy! Take off your badge! Coward!
Very peaceful, right? Antagonizing the cops, telling them to take off their badge. This is very peaceful.
Get that shit out of my fucking face!
Yeah, get out of his face, motherfucker. He's trying to be peaceful and protest, and you're in his fucking face. Stupid white boy.
Okay. That guy's yelling at the ICE officials for being a coward for wearing a mask. Meanwhile, he also has a mask on. What's your mask?
Yeah, that guy had a mask on. He's calling someone else a coward for wearing a mask. And if you look, the cops are the ones who don't say anything. The cops don't say anything. They just stand there. And then there's all these people who line up and antagonize the cops, right?
Message to the police officers in the National Guard right now.
They've got a choice. They don't have to do this fucking shit. That's it. They can either be American citizens or they can be what they're doing right now.
You don't think they're acting like as American citizens?
No.
Do you think they're trying to protect the country or make it a more dangerous place?
What do you mean? Like, this is way, way beyond what it needs to be.
Something's about to break out real soon.
Something's about to break out real soon. Look at everybody just walking around with their phones. Like, look, phone. Right? Ooh, it's like it's something to do. So if you live near here and you're bored, this gives you something to do. And then, of course, if you have any sort of Hispanic, Latino background, ethnicity, what have you, then, of course, you feel like you're obliged to be there. You feel like you're doing the right thing by yelling at police and filming.
If these people keep taunting the police officers with all these other flags, all these other words they're saying to these police officers in National Guard, something's about to happen.
You guys suck! Kristen Lewis! You guys suck! Donald Trump!
She just said, you guys suck Donald Trump's dick. So my thing is like, what is this going to accomplish? Like, on both sides, like you just think about it from like a logic standpoint. Like, if you go yell at cops to suck Donald Trump's dick, are they going to be like, oh, we're sorry. We're going to leave now since you told us to go suck Donald Trump's dick. We're actually going to go suck it right now. All right, come on, boys. She told us to suck Trump's dick. Let's go. Let's file out of here. The black lady yelled at us. Right? So it's kind of stupid if you really think about it. Like, what's your protest really going to do? And it's a manufactured protest, right? So if anything, this makes the protesters look triggered, and it makes the police look like they're the ones who are peaceful. Like, it makes the police look like they're just there doing their job, just trying to round up the illegal immigrants and do their job peacefully. And these people antagonizing the cops, these ones are the agitators. So they got both sides to where they can get you to pick one side or the other, because that's what they want you to do. This is one of those you must pick a side issues. You can't sit back on the fence like me and say the whole thing's manufactured and staged. No, I'm like one of the only people on the internet who says that. One of the only dudes who tells you this is manufactured. Most everyone else is going to pick a side by design. And that's what they want you to do by design, is pick a side. Are you on the side of Trump and the police and the government, and you want to deport all these damn illegals? That's cool. That's the right side, the conservative side. Or are you on the left side and you want these damn cops to leave these poor people alone, and that this is the police and the government overstepping your constitutional rights. See, they can get you to pick both sides, either side, excuse me, and then think that you're picking the right side. So both sides are convinced that they have made the correct decision.
I can tell you're very upset.
Of course we are. Yeah. We feel some burning in the eyes right now upon arrival here. Everybody be prepared. We still fight for the legalization of all in occupied territories. This was indigenous land. This was Mexico. This is our fucking turf.
I think I accidentally called this a black lady. Obviously, it's a Mexican lady or Hispanic, whatever. So my bad. Definitely not a black lady. And most everybody here, I've noticed, is like Latino, Mexican, or other Central American countries.
Motherfuckers, free them all!
Stolen people on stolen land. Black people were stolen. And it was taken from the indigenous. Stolen people on stolen land.
What's your message to ICE and to the federal government today?
Just the message, just straight up, is just this government is fucking corrupt as fuck. People need to fucking start realizing that shit. And fucking, we need a fucking factory reset. We need some justice up in here.
Yeah, guys, this fellow with face tattoos and covered in tattoos and piercings, backwards Dodger hat. Yeah, let's listen to this guy. He's gonna set the record straight.
People need to fucking start realizing that shit. And fucking, we need a fucking factory reset. We need some justice up in here.
Factory reset. And how are you going to get that? By going out in the streets and cussing at cops and throwing shit at them. That's how you get a factory reset.
Just for everybody, straight the fuck up. You know what I mean?
You have lots of tattoos, and people oftentimes interpret tattoos with being part of the gangs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm focused on some other shit. I'm not.
Did you guys like that little awkward cough that he lets out? Let's back it up just like 5 seconds. Watch this. Actually, 10 seconds.
You have lots of tattoos, and people oftentimes interpret tattoos with being part of the gangs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah.
Tattoos with being part of the gangs and whatnot.
Oh, yeah.
Have you been checked for gangs or anything like that?
Yeah, I'm focused on some other shit. I'm not worried about that though.
Yeah, that means he's been a fucking convicted, busted gang member and criminal many times, but he's not focused on that right now. We need a factory reset, you guys. That's what he's focused on.
You're not worried about that? So essentially all that's happening right now is that ICE, police, DHS, and the National Guard are just holding a line here outside this federal building. Protesters haven't gone back at the police quite yet. We'll see what happens. Could be happening very soon.
This was our land. All this is stolen. And what? Now we're fucking illegal here.
We're gonna
Are you fucking kidding me? You're not fighting for. You're not fighting for this country.
We're gonna dox you. We're gonna dox you.
Motherfucker gonna yell at Marines, we're gonna dox you, right? Yell at the cops who are just standing there, we're gonna dox you. Yeah, he's scaring the shit out of them, bro.
We're gonna dox you.
I love this flag right here.
You just said you love that flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
What colors?
What's the purpose of bringing?
Oh, I'm glad we found that information out. I was wondering what about the flag that guy likes. That was one of the main reasons I did this stream, is so we could all find out why that random black guy likes the Mexican flag. And you know why?
Flag right there. What's your favorite thing about the Mexican flag?
What colors?
The colors. Important information. I shall sleep like a baby now that I know that.
What's the purpose of bringing out the Mexican flags today here while we are in the United States?
Honestly, I have no idea, bro. I just came here to just show out. That's it, bro.
Do you think it's low-key like, all right, if you want to rep your flag, go back to your country kind of vibe, or do you think people are just upset with what's going on?
I don't know. Honestly, like, it's true, you know, like, we did come, but, like, I don't know, bro. Just, they're here already. They don't want to leave.
Why are they protesting?
Yeah, this kid seems well educated on the issues. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, you know, like we're here, but like we're here already. Like, I don't know, bro. You know, like, Oh no. Thanks. Thanks for letting America know how you feel, brother. All right. Looks like I got a super chat just came in just now. Or just a minute ago. Tom says, LA, the most expensive property in Mexico. So East LA is the Mexican side of town. And then South Central LA is like the black side of town. And then there's the Hollywood Hills and stuff. So once you get up into the hills, that's where the rich movie stars and shit live, right? So there's different sections of LA. And there's, even a nice side where all the rich people live and shit, gated communities and whatnot. So once you get out of the section where they're doing their riot staging and all that chaos is popping off, none of that shit's going on. So you could literally just get like a mile away from where all that chaos is, and it's just another regular day in LA. So it's not like the entire city is looking like that. So the news reports make it sound like California's in chaos. LA has fallen. The police have lost all control. That's just headline garbage. It's literally like this couple block area where they're doing all this shit, it seems. All right.
What's going on here in the United States if they don't want to go back to their country?
Because they think it's stolen land, so they think they could just come in here, and take over.
And this guy right here is essentially taunting National Guard right here, saying National Guard, LOL. Meanwhile, National Guard is right there with their troops. The lawyers have arrived.
Yeah.
What are you guys here to do?
We don't talk to press. I'm sorry.
You just did.
And what's your guys' job here to do?
We're legal observers with the National Lawyers Guild, so we're a third party. Yeah.
So if the protesters say they touch a police officer or one of the members of the National Guard, who's at fault? If they then detain?
We don't.
Yeah, that's the no. Yeah. So these green hat people, these almost seem like paid protester. What do you call it? Babysitters or something. Like they're looking after the paid protesters or making sure that the paid protesters are doing what they're supposed to be doing. Perhaps that's their job. I don't know. Seems kind of strange.
So the people with the green hats, they essentially watch to see if law enforcement does anything that they could then go and sue them for. So who knows who they get paid by? However, their job is to make sure.
So it's almost like the people in the green hats are like paid protester shift leaders, paid protester bosses who make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, looking after everyone, right?
If they then detain.
We don't.
Just look up National Guard. So the people with the green hats, they essentially watch to see if law enforcement does anything that they could then go and sue them for. So who knows who they get paid by? However, their job is to make sure that if a protest.
Supervisors. God, I was looking for that word in my head, and I don't know why I couldn't think of it on the spot. And I said babysitters. Protester supervisors, right? Because if you hire 500 people to be paid protesters, you're going to need some paid protester supervisors to make sure everyone's doing what they're supposed to do, right?
Protester does get detained, they get all their name, info, so that they can go and file a lawsuit as they're part of the National Lawyers Guild. And a lot of people wonder who funds that group with the green hats. Is it George Soros or is it some other outside organization? Nobody.
Yeah, whenever you hear like it's George Soros who funds these people, that's like a popular thing to repeat whenever you see paid protesters. Just go with the government. Instead of blaming a person like George Soros, whenever you blame one person, that's kind of as stupid as blaming Bill Gates, It's Bill Gates who's trying to kill everyone. It's George Soros. No, it's the government. You can't just tie it back to one evil guy. So the whole it's funded by George Soros thing, they say that about every fucking protest. As if it's this one dude who funds every protest. No. The government as a whole, and the American government works with other foreign governments. So you're probably going to see this same sort of thing happen in a few European major cities, maybe like London or something. You'll see something like this maybe in the next few days. That way it's not just an American issue, right? So you could even see some immigration protests pop off in Europe so they can make this seem like an international issue. Just goes to show you the governments of the world and the mainstream media outlets of the world are all tied together.
Nobody really knows. We got this group right behind me gathering right now. They're all masked up. They're in a circle. Looks like they're planning to do something. You're here talking to the National Guard. What's your message to them today?
I'm just asking this dude to think. I was just talking to this guy, asking him if they give you the order to shoot, are you going to do it?
Let's see, watch. What we got somebody here telling me it's been proven that Soros is the one who funds this. Let's correct the record here. A guy who calls himself A-Rod. So a guy who names himself after a baseball player and then uses Kansas City Chiefs logo with Swift on it. Funny. Says it's been proven that Soros is linked to these events. Bro, that's like saying it's been proven that Bill Gates is the one funding all the vaxes. They want you to point at one old guy and think that the one old guy is doing it. Soros is tied back to who? The government. Bill Gates is tied back to what? The government. So don't point at the old guy puppets. Point at the government behind them, because even if George Soros died tomorrow, all this same shit would still continue to happen. There would still be paid protesters. So if George Soros is announced dead, then who the fuck is going to pay these paid protesters then? The government. Right?
He wouldn't look me in the eye. It took a while, but he told me no eventually. None of these people want to be here. This captain looks sad as fuck. Look at this captain, bro. Sad as fuck. He does not want to be here doing this. None of them want to be here doing this, and yet they are. They need to make their own fucking choices and think for themselves.
Would you like to see them disarmed in front of thousands of people?
I just want the National Guard out of my city. I want people freed. I don't want to see any more kidnapping. I don't want to see any more ICE in our communities. I want to see tax dollars going to this.
Who would you like to protect the nation?
The people. I mean, all I care about is the people. I just want everybody to be safe, not kidnapped.
Do you think there needs to be laws here in the United States to regulate things like immigration?
So here's how they get you to support one side wholeheartedly or the other and think that you're making the right decision. So like this person here, they're kidnapping people who are innocent. The ICE is kidnapping innocent people who didn't do anything wrong. You're right. That does sound bad. Fuck those ICEs. Fuck Donald Trump for kidnapping those innocent people. See? So they trick you into that side. Or they trick you into the supporting the ICE raids and supporting deportation. If you're a Donald Trump supporter, get rid of them sons of bitches. They're out there burning cars and destroying property. These are illegals who are here undocumented. A lot of them are criminals and murderers, and they need to be deported. You're right. These are illegals, and a lot of them are criminals, and a lot of them are over here illegally. They need to deport those people. You're right. See? So they get both sides to feel like they have made the correct decision. Script writers, very clever. Got to hand it to the script writers, right? And there's no amount of explaining to any of those fucking sheep out there protesting that's going to get them to go, oh shit, you're right. I got duped. Why am I being a useful idiot? So you could find people who aren't paid, who are out there in that shit part of the protest. Nothing you could say will convince them that they were duped and made the wrong move and wasted their time. Nothing. And on the flip side, a hardcore Trumper who's yelling at the TV, we need to deport all them sons of bitches. Everyone who's protesting needs to go back to where they come from. You're never going to convince that guy that this was manufactured to create outrage against Trump on purpose and further strengthen the right versus left divide. Their mind will never go there. And that Trump is just a puppet and he's not the one who scripted or planned any of it. That this was scripted maybe 10 years ago, 20 years ago, before Trump was even fucking president. Their mind isn't capable of going there. So the people who fall for this shit, even if you educate them and tell them it's scripted in advance, they aren't smart enough to ever accept that. Telling someone that these events are scripted ahead of time is like so far out in left field, like the craziest fucking thing, that they will never let themselves go down that rabbit hole.
I think people need to not be kidnapped.
For instance, this is all caused because a lot of people did come to the country these past 4 years. Do you think there should be regulations with who comes across the border and how many come across?
You know, I think whatever regulations there may or may not be, they're abducting people at court cases, right?
If somebody comes across the border without due process, do they deserve due process going out?
Yes, everybody deserves due process.
Now they're all moving, they're going to City Hall.
See, a lot of these people, you can tell, are just there to get footage for their blogs and their YouTube channels, you know? So a lot of people I can tell are just fucking bored. So they're just there, standing around. Like, look at this random white dude over here with his hand in his pocket. What are you doing, bro? You know what I'm saying? Homeboy's just over here sightseeing. All right. Bo Perkins says, like my old roommate, low IQ. Man, Bo Perkins hates his old Falcons fan roommate. I want everyone to know, because Bo Perkins wants everyone to know. His old roommate was a Falcons fan and a sheeple, and he used to yell at the TV. So Bo took a baseball bat to his roommate's TV because his roommate is a fucking idiot. He's got low IQ, probably has no life and just sits around and plays Madden and fantasizes about fantasy football all day. Fuck that guy. I hate that guy, Bo. I'm so glad that you are a fan of my channel and you send me super chats talking about how stupid your roommate is. Please continue. I love it.
Fuck LAPD.
All these people right here talking to the police, direct line in between them. More police are coming. What do you guys say?
Bro, this is fucking bullshit, bro. They out here hurting innocent people.
Bro, fuck this, bro. This bullshit, bro. They out here like kidnapping people and doing stuff to innocent people, bro. This fucking bullshit, bro. That's like so many fucking wannabe gangsta type guys in LA. And another thing I notice is that a lot of these like hoodlum ass fucking Mexican East Side LA guys, they're the first ones who call each other the N-word and call anyone the N-word when they're ready to fight. You know, and they all like have this like hoodlum ass fucking Mexican California fucking accent like this guy.
All these people right here talking to the police, direct line in between them. More police are coming. What do you guys say?
Bro, this is fucking bullshit, bro. They out here hurting innocent people. Fuck you, bitch.
The lady with the scarf right here, she was one of the people in that group that I was talking about earlier on in this video. Her and this guy right up here causing all the chaos.
And in all these shots, the police aren't touching anyone. If you look at all this video that this guy's showing, these police are hurting us, they're kidnapping us, fuck these police, man. And then you look at the police, they're standing there doing nothing while everyone yells at them and berates them. So all the video footage here on this guy's channel showing police doing jack shit nothing, standing there while a mob yells and screams.
Need a mask, man.
I'm okay. What's the mask for?
I mean, shit. I mean,
He doesn't even know what the mask is for.
mask.
I'm okay. What's the mask for?
I mean, shit. I mean,
You're handing out the mask. Why are people having masks?
He doesn't know. What's the mask for? I mean, shit. That's your answer? What's the mask for?
Who do you think?
One more time. I want to know what the mask is for.
You're handing out the mask. Why are people having masks? Who do you think?
That's what it's for.
They're wrong. Newsom or Trump right now? They're battling it out.
Trump, definitely.
You on the right or wrong?
Wrong. Totally. Look at what's happening. I mean, clearly.
What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Just keep.
Told you not everyone's a paid protester.
The finger up.
Yeah.
There you go. What are you gonna do?
I don't know. I'm just kind of here.
Just keep the finger up.
Yeah.
There you go.
This guy's a little fucking bitch. No, this guy's a fucking. He's a fucking little white nationalist. F this guy. You're a little fucking bitch.
Don't touch the camera.
Fucking bitch. I know.
Hey.
This is why I would never go show up to this, because they would inevitably do this to me. Yeah, these are low-life, loser-ass libtards who have nothing better to do. And so whether they're a paid protester or a useful idiot, all it takes is one of them to go, "This is a motherfucking Trumper. He's here doing a YouTube channel for Donald Trump. Fuck this motherfucker. Beat this motherfucker's ass." That's all it would take. And then 10, 20 of these fucking stupid hoodlums would jump you. Just for being a white guy. And then they'll complain how this land was stolen from their people.
I don't do anything. Get the fuck out of here. I know you fucking do. You fucking white nationalist motherfucker.
How?
I know who the fuck you are. You fucking Republican bitch.
bro, you don't need to put. This is one of them. They're gonna get it.
I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna fucking tell it to his fucking face. You fucking little faggot.
What did I do?
You know what the fuck you do?
What did I do?
You know you fucking antagonize people? Oh, fuck your fucking bitch ass up.
See? So why would I drive down there and put myself in this situation where 20 fucking loser ass cholos are gonna fucking stomp my head in because I was trying to get some views? Fuck no, dude. In fact, in my opinion, I'd be down with the police just fucking mowing all these sons of bitches down. Every last one of them. Just run them over with your fucking Hummers. Shoot every last damn one of them. I'd be cool with that. Wouldn't bother me at all.
I'm not doing
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Just like the cops. Get the fuck out of
Hey,
here.
I have a right to be here just like you.
Yeah, so do we, motherfucker.
Okay, I'm not.
So why the cops here? You're a fucking cop. That's what you
I'm
fucking
not
are.
the cop.
Yeah, you are. You
How
fucking
am I a
asshole.
cop?
You want to fucking steal that shit? You want to fuck
Get
out
out of here, bro.
What? I'm fucking cornered, you little bitch. Are you scared?
I'm not scared.
Fucking faggot.
What did I do?
You're a little fucking bitch. I fucking see you on fucking line. Always fucking antagonizing right-wing fucking ideology, motherfucker. This is our fucking land, you fucking bitch. Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Dude, I have every right to be here.
I don't give a fuck. Not today. I'm the fucking police. I'm telling you not to be here, motherfucker.
Well, I want to be here.
Well, I'm fucking telling you not to be here. Get the fuck out.
See, I know personally, just looking at that guy, one-on-one, mano a mano, I would fucking destroy that guy so fast. So fast. If he would have did this to me and there were no people around to help him, and I looked around and felt like I could get away with caving in his face, I'm the type of guy who would do that. But if I looked around and saw myself outnumbered in a situation like this, I would have to do what this guy's doing and just take it. Keep my hands to myself. Because I know if I was to throw one shot at this dude, 10, 20 cholos would come jump me and stomp my head in. And I would be the one who would lose after getting jumped, right? But one-on-one, This guy would never act like that. I bet you one-on-one, without all of his buddies around, this fella would never act so tough. Because he's obviously not a tough guy.
Get out of my way.
Towards the cops, you fucking
Get out of here.
fucking asshole. I know you are, you fucking right-wing motherfucker. You're a little fucking bitch.
I have a right to be here just like you.
Well, I'm gonna be right next to you the whole fucking time.
Okay.
Fucking cars out here, faggot.
Do it. That guy's mad at me for being here. Meanwhile, I'm just trying to show what's going on here.
I'm your personal bodyguard now, motherfucker.
Now that dude's chasing him around. I'm gonna chase him around the whole event now.
Thank you.
You little bitch.
I didn't do anything to you, sir. Now the police are backing up. People are taking over the police here. I just broke the windshield of the police. So it makes no
Broke the windshield of the police. I thought they were peaceful. So apparently in this peaceful protest, you can show up, not even be a cop, just be a regular white guy with a YouTube channel. And there's a strong chance you can get attacked or at least verbally berated. Oh, but it's so peaceful. It's so peaceful. It's all the cops' fault. The people are so peaceful and loving. Such a peaceful protest.
no sense. I understand why the protesters are out here today. They're upset with ICE. The police are trying to leave, though, and they won't let the police leave.
So they block the police from leaving and then destroy the police vehicles. But it's a peaceful protest. Jump kicking a vehicle is 100% peaceful and it helps the cause. You guys, everybody should be jump kicking police vehicles. It's totally going to make the police go away and leave all the illegal immigrants alone. And we can all live in peace and happiness. Part of peaceful protesting is kicking police vehicles like this guy. Very peaceful.
So watch. The police are trying to leave out of here. So watch what's going to happen to this police officer when he drives away.
Yo, we have a right to be here. We have a right to peaceful protest. We have a right to like throw bricks at your freaking head, I say. You know, like you stole this country, you know, like this is our country and we have a right to be here. We have a right to light your cop car on fire, I say. Get the fuck out of Vista LA, Holmes.
The police have been overtaken here on the streets. There's about 10 of them now here on the streets, and over 1,000 protesters are throwing waters at the police. Now the police are about to shoot.
All right. Texas Grown says, do a Donald Trump for us. Don't harm the beautiful police cars. It's really quite alarming what's happening down there in Los Angeles. My whole goal was to get rid of the undocumented illegals who are indeed criminals. Some of these people, they're murderers. These are the most despicable people who are coming over here. We're not trying to just kidnap and deport just anyone. We're focusing on truly the worst criminals who came over the border illegally and who don't belong in this country. So when I see these protests, quite frankly, it makes me very sad, and I might have to personally go down there and talk some sense into these people. These people have no idea if they were to do the same sort of protest in China, things would be very different. You would never see these sort of protests popping off in China. So the fact that these people are even allowed to protest in this beautiful country just shows that you have a constitution that is protecting your rights, that you have every right to protest. However, when it becomes a non-peaceful protest, quite frankly, and when you start lighting cars on fire, that's when I have to step in. I have to send in the National Guard. I have to send in the Marines. So that's what I had to do. You got to do what you got to do. There you go. There you go. That sounds like something he would say, right?
What's the deal?
What's the deal? It's crazy out here,
Come on
man.
now, look.
The police, I don't understand. The police are trying to leave, but people won't let them leave.
The police.
I know that everyone's saying. Everyone's saying.
Guy's got a Michael Jackson shirt on, talking about fuck the police. Yeah, man. Michael Jackson, bro. Of course, he's got like 80s Michael Jackson when it was cool to like Michael Jackson. Yeah, just forget about that whole touching kids wacko jacko phase and just wear the Thriller album.
Saying F the police, but if the police are trying to leave, should they let them leave?
Yeah.
I understand that the people are upset, but the police are trying to leave. There's about 20 police officers now, but they're not letting them leave. And when they do leave, they're kicking the cars, throwing waters at them. They broke the windshield of one of these police officers. So I understand they're upset, but I don't understand why they won't let the police.
We're allowed to peacefully protest, you know, so if the police want to like try to leave, we have every right to stop them from leaving and throw bricks at their cars. You know, they're the ones who are coming here starting shit with us. We don't do nothing. We're the ones who are being peaceful. That's why when they try to leave, we throw bricks at them and shit. Because we're like peaceful. And they're the ones coming here starting shit.
Police leave if they're trying to leave. Everyone's going back to the National Guard where the people are being detained right now. For those watching the video right now, am I right or wrong in having the opinion that the police are trying to leave, the people should let them leave versus antagonizing them even more? You're kind of putting the police in a hard situation when they're trying to back out, leave the location, and then you're the one getting back at the police, throwing stuff. So I'm confused. What should the police do? Should they be able to fight back or should they just take the hits? You get hit?
You just already know, man. Hey, it's for a cause, you know what I'm saying?
Dude's all happy. Yeah, man, it's for the cause, yo. Yeah, I got shot in my chest. Yo, what up? Whoop, 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 whoop. God, man. You know, guys, I hate to say this. I really do, but sometimes when I step back and look at society as a whole, I totally see why the elites who run this place would like to exterminate all of us low-life cretins. And what's sad is I'm not one of these low-life cretins, but the elites who run this place and want to exterminate these low-life cretins, I totally get why they want to do it. The sucky part is I am going to be lumped in with these low-life cretins, and you are going to be lumped in with these low-life cretins, along with those who are meant to be exterminated. So I feel like, you know, hitting the reset button on this place, which appears to be what the governments of the world are doing as far as this population is concerned, I totally get where they're coming from. It sucks that I am also going to be lumped in with these cretins who totally need to be exterminated. But I totally understand why the elites want to get rid of all these fucking cretins. Totally get it. I understand why they think we're useless eaters. I totally get it. I'm not saying I support the decision to exterminate lots of people. I'm just saying I understand why the elites consider us a bunch of low-life, useless eating fucking cretins who need to be exterminated. I so understand. Sucks that I'm going to be lumped in with all these cretins who are going to be exterminated. Oh, and you too. You who are watching, yeah, you are also lumped in with these people.
Out here, bro. As again, man. You know what I'm saying? We man.
Wow, you took that hit right on the chest.
Oh, yeah, bro. I was just riding my scooter, like, you know what I mean? Just another day and just bam.
Were you hitting the police or did you just get caught in the crossfire?
Man, I did something.
It was just another day in the hood, and he accidentally somehow just got shot in the chest. Did you do something to the police? Oh, well, yeah, I did do something. Let's watch that part again. That's funny.
You took that hit right on the chest.
Oh, yeah, bro. I was just riding my scooter, like, you know what I mean? Just another day and just bam.
Yeah, man, I'm just riding my scooter just like another day and then just bam.
Were you hitting the police, or did you just get caught in the crossfire?
Were you hitting the police, or did you just get caught in the crossfire?
Man, I did something.
Man, I did some. See what I mean? Fucking cretins. Absolute goddamn fucking cretins. And I mean it. Goddamn fucking terrible cretins, these people. I totally understand why the people who run this place want all of these fucking cretins exterminated as soon as possible. I get it. Now, I can't sit here in good faith and say that I support the elites exterminating all these fucks. Because, you know, I'm lumped in with all these fucks. I'm just saying I understand. I hope you understand too, after hearing what that guy just said. You know, his story about how he got this mark on his chest. Well, he was, you know, hitting the police officers. So that's how he ended up with that mark on his chest while he was riding around just like it was another day in LA. Fucking cretins.
I ain't gonna lie. I fuck shit up, so hey, this shit comes with a price in the end, you know what I'm saying?
Now, everyone has rushed back to the federal building. National Guard's out here, police back on that side, and thousands of people. Streets are filled. Now police are shooting.
Like that last dude didn't seem like a paid protester. He just seemed like a really dumb fuck. Ask yourself, do you think that that guy was one of the paid protesters who got shot in the fucking chest and then gave that stupid interview, making himself look like a goddamn moron? No, that just seems like a regular old stupid fuck who got a little too close and personal with a cop, and the cop shot him in the fucking chest with a beanbag or a rubber bullet or whatever. I don't think he was paid to do that. I think that guy was just a regular old dumb fuck who's in the crowd antagonizing cops and got his fucking ass shot.
Stand your fucking up no matter what. Stand your ground.
Shots are getting fired out here.
Someone said content creator hired the harasser guy. Let me go back. I missed a super chat. A guy suggesting that the guy who was harassing the YouTuber earlier was paid and set up so that he gets more clicks. That actually would make sense, because that was probably the most watched part of this whole video, was when that guy followed him around. Tom says, content maker hired him to harass, more clicks. You know what? With a video with a 1.8 million views and counting, that's probably the top moment of the video, most watched, most replayed video, or most replayed part of the video. So yeah, dude, you might have a solid point here. That what you're saying could very well be plausible.
National Guard has now been activated. They've left their spots and they're pushing everybody back. Holy crap, people are getting shot right now. They dropped the deer gun. Got this guy out here shooting silly string.
He's gonna shoot some silly string at the police, and it looks like he's ran out of silly string. So he's shooting a fucking empty canister of silly string. That's gonna show those police who's boss. Get out of our city, Holmes. You stole our land. I'm gonna shoot you with some silly string. Oh, fuck, I ran out of silly string. So I'm just going to shoot the leftover aerosol inside the silly string can. Essay, get out of our country, Holmes. Gotta love it.
The police officer. Shots are being fired. All sorts of stuff are happening right now here on the streets of LA.
Hey, these police are like trespassing on our land, home. LA is our territory. SA, you need to get your police ass out of here. I'm gonna shoot you with some silly string, motherfucker. Hey, get your ass out of here, man. I'm gonna get you with my silly string. Yeah, for sure, Holmes. Gonna wax that police officer's ass with some silly string.
The rioters! You are the rioters!
So these are what they're shooting at the protesters. They're these rubber bullets right here. These are powerful. They're coming out and they're ricocheting everywhere on the protesters. As a protester, do you feel like you guys are accomplishing your purpose out here today?
I don't know who you are, man. I'm not talking to you.
Right, so what happened to this guy right here?
He got hit with a rubber bullet.
Donald Trump! Donald Trump! Fascism!
Okay, this is a paid protester. This person is paid to be there. This helmet, and then the goggles, and then the megaphone, and then like she's like holding like some sort of what, like homemade potato launcher or something. This is an example of a paid protester. No way that's a regular person.
Let our people free! Let our people free! ¡Suelta nuestra gente! Let our people free! Let our people free! ¡Suelta nuestra gente! Let our people free!
That's not annoying at all. I could totally stand there and listen to that all day.
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers! If you have a fucking blower, bring it up!
Oh, I thought it was a potato launcher. It's a leaf blower, and it's to blow the tear gas back at the police. Very clever. What was I thinking? Potato launcher? Fuck no.
Let our people free!
What's the windblower for?
Just for the fucking tear gas to blow it back at those motherfuckers! If you have a fucking blower, bring it up!
If you have a leaf blower, then you need to bring it! Fuck you! La la la!
Push them back! We will not do 1992 again with your fucking tanks! I was 12 then! I'm 44 now! I will die for my fucking kids!
Dude, Hollywood needs to give this girl, boy, person, Hollywood needs to give this person a role in their next movie. I mean, the acting skill, the intensity. I really, really appreciate an actor who goes the extra mile and puts in the effort. I am sick of crisis actors who crack smiles with Duper's delight. This right here is how it is fucking done, man. Duper's delight? No, not even slightly. This is like a classic example of some acting skill that you just don't see nowadays in any movie. You need to see movies bring back true actors like this. This is some good shit.
And all of these young people out here are my fucking kids! Because I'm an LA native mom! These are my fucking children you're fighting! You! Major Bass! If you can hear me, expect my ass in your office on Monday for attacking my children!
I mean, to do that without cracking a smile, and then the outfit, the ridiculous outfit that this person is wearing. This might be my favorite person of the entire riot. If it was up to me, I would just follow this person around with a camera and see what they do with the leaf blower. I want to see the leaf blower in action, personally.
This is our city, and this was Mexico. You can't kick us out of the land that was ours.
If you could say something to Donald Trump right now, what would you say?
Donald Trump, you can suck my left nut. You can get out of my fucking drawer.
Okay, so apparently it is a male because he has just asked Donald Trump to suck his left nut. So I thought maybe it might be a female. I wasn't sure. It was kind of a toss-up. But apparently this person has a left nut. So I'm going to assume that this is a male.
You're just mad because Salma Hayek wouldn't give you the time of day, bitch. And
Donald Trump is mad because Salma Hayek wouldn't give him the time of day? I have never heard that. Have you guys ever heard that Donald Trump is mad because Salma Hayek wouldn't give him the time of day? I have never heard that personally. I didn't know Donald Trump and Salma Hayek had any sort of issues or beef, or that they even knew each other.
it's gonna shine by making you look like a fucking loser.
What do you mean by your sign?
I mean that like we all the power in this country comes from the people who established the republic. The streets are safe and secure because we decide not to make them unsafe. And like the way we're being treated on some level is as if we were captives in a concentration camp. We're innocent to proven guilty. Innocent to proven guilty. It's not like they can just drag people off the street just because they think that they're guilty. So.
With these
Yeah, everything that guy just said was pure horse shit. No, it's nothing like a concentration camp. For instance, tomorrow I could drive over to the beach in Santa Cruz where the weather's perfect and it's nice as fuck. And people are out like mountain biking and walking and enjoying themselves and smiling. And none of this shit's going on. And it's kind of hard to compare that to a concentration camp, which is something that they lied to us about in the first place. So yeah, not a good comparison at all.
Deportations, they say they're deporting the worst of the worst. Do you think they're deporting the worst of the worst, or do you think they're just taking anybody and anybody?
No, I just think they're taking anybody and everybody. I live over by Home Depot, and they were just like dragging guys off the street who were trying to earn a day's work.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
And what would you like to see them do with these deportations?
Well, I mean, if there are criminals and they're found to be doing crimes and they are illegal immigrants, then they should be like charged tried to court of law and maybe deported.
Earlier, the police were trying to leave today, but the protesters weren't letting them leave. What should the police do in that case if the protesters are not letting the police leave if they're trying to go to a different location?
Yeah, that's a tricky one. I'm not sure. I saw videos, people trying to get in front of the trucks. I think on some level that's like just creating, compounding the problem. I think like if they're going to drive away, just kind of let them drive away. I don't think that like forcing them to stay is necessarily like the best thing.
Yeah, I don't think that's like
Wow, a logical thought comes out of this idiot's mouth. How about that? I was expecting him to say, oh, well, the police are not allowed to leave because the land is stolen and this is a peaceful protest. So if they try to leave, then we should be able to huck bricks at their vehicles. I was waiting for him to say something ridiculous, but he actually said something logical. It's just weird to hear something logical while he's got a mask, sunglasses, and the most ridiculous, retarded sign in his fucking hand.
An unreasonable take to like if the police are leaving, let them leave.
Yeah, let them go. Yeah,
keep pushing back at them.
They're just going to be like hurting people and like running them over with their cars and like, yeah.
And you're wearing a mask. Why are so many of these protesters out here wearing masks? Meanwhile, a lot of people are saying these ICE agents need to take off their masks.
Yeah, well, in part it's like because the Fourth Amendment gives me the right to be secure in my person and property, and my personhood, and so that's part of the reason because like
he doesn't want people to see that he's white and get attacked by the mob that he's supporting. So he's covering up his whiteness as much as possible. And he doesn't want any of the police or authorities to know who he is either.
I have the right, the Constitution acknowledges my right to be masked in public whenever I want to.
Should ICE agents stay masked or should they go unmasked?
Who?
ICE agents.
No, they need to be unmasked and with their name, a large identifying name plate.
ICE agents need to be unmasked and show their name tag. But this guy right here has every right in the world to be a mask wearing, sunglasses wearing, retarded sign carrying idiot. For sure.
Visible. Because they're public servants. They don't have a right to the constitutional rights. They don't have the right to the First, Fourth, Fifth. None of those amendments apply to them. They only apply to citizens, not the state.
On all four entrances of this intersection, protesters have surrounded it. Now police are coming in on all angles right now.
peaceful. It's a peaceful protest, you guys. They all gathered peacefully, and then the cops drove their vehicles by, so they had no choice but to hurl bricks and break the windows on the vehicles. The cops were interrupting their peaceful protests. So, all right. I'm about done with that video. So what do you guys think? I've been showing this for like a couple hours now. So let's hear from you guys. This is the chance for you guys to make your voice heard on this issue. You guys let me know what you think. And one baller says, do you like tortas? Big Mexican women, BBW women. I like torta sandwiches. I like Mexican food in general. And, you know, I live in California, so plenty of Mexican food options where I live. And I used to eat at taco and burrito trucks quite a bit. I'd still do sometimes, but man, there was a time where like dollar tacos from the taco truck was like one of my go-tos, man. But now the prices, even at the taco trucks, have raised because, you know, the inflation. So now the dollar tacos are $2 tacos, which isn't as good of a deal. As far as big Mexican women, BBW women, I'm a smaller guy. So I'm only 155 pounds, 5'7". So I'm not a big dude. So I don't really like a huge woman. I don't mind curves, but once a woman like gets to be like, you know, double the size of me, it's a no-go. There are some really attractive Latino women. So if you were going to make me choose between a sexy Latino woman or a black woman, I'm going to choose the Latino woman. So definitely some good looking Latino women. I have no problem with that. But as far as big women, once they get over 200, it's kind of a no-go for me. Like I'm 155. And like I said, I don't mind a curvy lady, but once the curves begin to be too big, then no. Jonna asked, do I like black women? I would never date a black woman. Jonna, did you change your profile picture to a black lady? Did you do that just to be funny? I know for a fact that was not your profile pic before. So I don't hate black women, right? But I am not looking to date one. So I'm sure there, you know, exists some good-looking black women, but chances that they're going to be interested in me and our interests are going to align and me want to date them, slim to none. And then the black women who are interested in me, chances are probably zero that I'd be interested in them. So probably no. But did you change your profile pic just to be funny or what? BP Lehigh says, I like big butts and I cannot lie. Oh, this is an old joke that I heard like back in like the 90s when I was a kid. Being with a fat chick is like riding a moped. Fun to ride, but you don't want your friends to see you do it. They're fun to ride until your friends catch you doing it. Huh? I would argue that mopeds are fun, and even if you guys caught me riding one, I wouldn't give a fuck. So I personally don't think that that is the best example because I think mopeds are fun to ride, and I have zero shame if you guys were to see me riding a moped. In fact, I ride electric scooters because for instance, like if I go over to Santa Cruz, I can use my electric scooter and shoot around the beach town. And so I can get drunk, not have to worry about getting a DUI and save money on gas And I just like the feeling of like listening to music and having a buzz and driving my scooter around in nice weather, such as like Santa Cruz, Monterey. So I like electric scooters. So I don't mind driving an electric scooter around. And so I definitely wouldn't mind driving a moped. So that old outdated example doesn't fly with me. All right. An animal to reckon with says DUI on an electric scooter. Well, whenever I go over to the beach, I typically will drink because I'm kind of a sucker for like perfect weather and walking around on the beach. It's like I want alcohol in my hand. And so I do enjoy, having a few drinks if I'm over in Santa Cruz, for instance. And so at night, if I'm going to, go get some pizza at Pizza My Heart, the popular pizza joint downtown that everyone loves. Well, I'm not going to get in my van if I've been drinking and risk get a DUI, right? So instead, I can hop on the electric scooter even after having, several drinks. And as long as I don't crash into a police car, I'm not going to get a DUI on an electric scooter. So I can, with a full buzz, head on over to get something to eat without having fear of being pulled over and having my life ruined, for driving under the influence. And gas is expensive when you're over on the coast. So having an electric vehicle, an electric bike, electric scooter, and then being able to explore, drive around, you can totally save on gas too. So it's a money saver as well. Bo Perkins wants a live performance of Return of the Doink. Well, since you have donated several times tonight, I will give you a live performance right here, right now, of Return of the Doink, which some people don't know, is actually a cover tune, a parody tune. The original song was written by Mark Morrison, and it's called Return of the Mac. And so I did a parody version called Return of the Doink. Goes a little something like this. Well, I tried to tell you so, but I guess you didn't know. Well, they be messing with field goals, and there's magnets in the poles. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. Oh, yes, you did. Yes, you did. You lied to me. All those field goals I thought were so real. You lied to me. And now I cry. Now I cry, cry, cry. Return of the Doink. Here it is. Return of the Doink. Return of the Doink. And another ball hits the pole. Return of the Doink. Once again, Return of the Doink. And another ball hits the pole. There you go. Return of the Doink live. Just for you. A cappella. No auto-tune. And it's not even football season. So you got an out-of-season Return of the Doink. You must feel very special right now. You are very welcome, Bo. Hey, you donated several times. It's the least I could do. All right, guys. I have been on here for a little over 2.5 hours, and the only thing I had on the agenda tonight was to cover the riots, and then to let you know that it's manufactured. It's a left versus right, us versus them, brown versus white sort of issue where they force you to pick a side. So most of you guys, if you've been watching me, you already probably knew this shit is scripted and staged. It's a bunch of paid protesters mixed with useful idiots who are getting themselves involved, and a handful of hoodlums and troublemakers who just want to destroy property. If you get a mile or two away from the areas where that shit is popping off, it's another day just like regular, just another regular day where nothing like that is even going on. So for instance, where I live in California, None of that shit is happening. So I'm guessing over the next few days, we're probably going to see some more shit popping off. And oh yeah, I wanted to show you guys this website that appears to be recruiting people to get involved to start more events like this. Almost forgot to show you this. And this is very important, so definitely want to cover this. Replacement Skylight says, I play Return of the Doink and dance around my house every time there's a doink during football season. My 10-year-old loves it. I've heard that before, where people say that their kid loves to sing Return of the Doink. Thank you very much, Replacement Skylights. Glad you got to hear Return of the Doink. All right, so check out this website, you guys. It's called nokings.org. In America, we don't do kings. They've defied our courts, deported Americans, disappeared people off the streets, attacked our civil rights, and slashed our services. The corruption has gone too far. No thrones, no crowns, no kings. And then check it out. On June 14th, we rise up. So this is like a call for an uprising, but not the YouTube channel, but like an actual call for what appears to be a manufactured uprising. So this looks like, to me, government propaganda designed to trick you into thinking that this is grassroots protests, and this is how you get involved if you want to be part of these grassroots protests. And then they even show these dots on this map, like this is all the places where there's going to be protests. Some of them are like out in the middle of nowhere, like this one out here in the middle of the desert in Nevada. So in the next few days, so I guess what, on the 14th, perhaps we'll see in the other major cities, we'll see some protests pop off. How much it's going to be like this LA protest, I don't know. How big they'll be, I couldn't tell you. But it looks like they're calling for people to create and show up to protests in their cities. And here's like an option to host an event. So if I continue to scroll down, upcoming calls and trainings. Interesting. Trainings. No King's Day Town Hall. Join ATF President Randy Weingarten for a special town hall on June 10th to prepare for No King's Day. Together we get ready to organize, mobilize, and build power for the future. Register now. Imagine registering for a protest. So you register, meaning you what? Give your name? What do I got to send them a copy of my ID too? So they want to know who you are. What's your first and last name, right? You got to register to be a part of this. Know your rights training. This training will prepare you to show up safely and confidentially at this nonviolent action. Whether you're marching, rallying, or supporting from the sidelines, you'll learn how to protect yourself, your community, and stand up for your rights. So you have to register for a training. You need to be trained on how to show up to a protest because people are too dumb. They have no idea what to do. So you need to register for this training, and they'll teach you how to show up and protect yourself confidentially. Look at this. No Kings Martial Training. Join the organizers of No Kings for a martial training designed to prepare you for your event. We'll equip you with essential skills for a smooth and secure mobilization, covering practical tips on crowd management, incident response, and key safety protocols. You guys, this literally sounds to me like training on how to become a useful idiot on their behalf. So this sounds like they're training you to become a protester who's not going to be paid. They want you to be an unpaid, useful idiot protester. And they want you to register that you're going to be there so that they know who's going to show up. Imagine how much of a dumb fuck you got to be to register your name and let these people know that you're going to be showing up at the town hall. And they get you to give your name, maybe even send in a photocopy of your ID, say where exactly you're going to be, how many people you're going to bring, right? And the caveat, they're going to teach you the skills you need to be a more effective protester. This literally looks like register to become a useful idiot.com is what this looks like. How stupid do you got to be to hit this link and then stick your actual name in there? Event attendee pre-mobilization mass call. So yeah, guys, June 14th. So there's a few dates that we might take a look at for the calendar where something might pop off. June 11th, there's been rumors of something happening on June 11th. And then this date here, this No King's Day, June 14th. So we will keep our eyes peeled for anything that might happen on either of these two dates. I'm not going to make any sort of prediction because it might be a total nothing burger. In fact, nothing burgers are quite common. So I'm more willing to guess there'll be a nothing burger than I am going to predict that something major is going to happen. But it has been rumored, at least by some, that June 11th could be a major mass PSYOP date. So we'll keep our eyes peeled, June 11th, June 14th. And if anything does go down, you better believe I will be here to cover it. All right. Looks like somebody got accidentally blocked. Jen No Fear says, Jake, I accidentally blocked NGA Brett Money Ween Troll blocks. Please convey my apologies. Great stream. Love out to you all. Accidents do happen. I have accidentally tried to ban somebody here in chat, but accidentally clicked the person under them and banned somebody who was totally innocent, who didn't do anything. So and then there's people who were talking about somebody else in the stream and saying, what a fucking idiot. And I thought they were talking to me. So sometimes people will say an insult and they're talking about someone who I'm talking about. And I get it mixed up and think that they're calling me names. And I've accidentally banned people. So I went through and unbanned so many people just in case anyone got accidentally banned. So I will make a note to myself to go try and find NGA Brett and unban him if I see him in the hidden users. NGA Brett. All right. So I will go through and try and dig him out of the hidden users. Thank you, Jen No Fear, for letting me know that you made that mistake. Mistakes happen. All right. All right, guys. So I'll go ahead and get off here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight and enjoying another Truther Tuesday. I'll try and do another stream for you soon. Perhaps Saturday we'll do another stream. And then, of course, next Tuesday we'll be back again. But I'll try and do another stream before next Tuesday. Maybe I'll do like a daytime stream so that people over in Europe can watch. I've been meaning to do that, to do like a stream early in the day so that my European subs can watch because they're always asleep whenever I stream. So maybe Saturday, like noon or 11 a.m. or something. Maybe I can put together a early day stream. So we'll try and set that up. And until next time, I'll see you guys in either the next stream or the next video. Thank you to everybody who watched this stream tonight. Thank you to everybody who donated, and all of you guys whose message I didn't pull up. I'll go back and watch the replay, and I'll see what everybody said here. So whatever was said here, I will go back and read it. And thank you guys for hanging out once more. I'll see you next time. Peace out. Much love. Good night.